I think it was a moment in Love Island history, personally. Like, it's very rare that you see the host get involved.
Good morning, and thank you for choosing to spend your Valentine's Day morning with us. We love you very much. This is Love Island The Morning After. I'm Amy Hart.
And I'm Indiyah Polack. And for one final time this week, we are joined by the wonderful Georgia Harrison. Oh my gosh, Kelly, the last Friday.
I know. Happy Galentine's.
Happy Galentine's,
Happy
girls.
Galentine's. We're all in our red and pink. Very on
pink.
theme. Love that.
Red.
I mean, we're feeling the love, but I don't quite think the villa is.
No,
is
it's
it?
not.
Yeah.
I mean, last night's episode, again, we had more drama. We had like daytime drama, evening drama. We had a dumping. So we've got a lot to chat about.
So before we get in too deep into last night's show, we are joined live from South Africa with last night's dumpies, the wonderful Jack and Sher, everybody. How are you guys?
We're good. Yeah, obviously just watched the episode. Definitely a tough night, to be fair. Not gonna lie. It was that game was pretty wild.
It was a tough watch, but it's bittersweet.
Yeah, imagine it's all still fresh at the
I
moment,
know.
isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, besides the game, the dumping was just savage, to be fair. We were obviously so shocked that we left that quickly and that suddenly, like, it was a wild night.
Yeah. Now, why did you both want to do All Stars?
Obviously, I'm single, so I wanted to try a new way of dating. It was 6 years since I did my season, and I'm convinced I'm going to get married to a nice little foreign man. So I was like, why not All Stars? I think that's perfect.
As you know, Indiyah, my first time went so well in Casa, so I was like, right, let's give it another go. Yeah, I just thought it was like a fresh start, another go. I've been single for a year now, and bit of January sun, hopefully meet some lovely girls. I think I did. Can we all just agree how gorgeous Sher looks tonight? Like, she looks absolutely amazing. Stunning. She's really, I'm punching big time right now. But that was it. I was just wanted to just have a new experience, a fresh start at it. And I think I did. I mean, I lasted way longer than I did the first time. I mean, I think I was there for 3.5 days. I think I did a month almost in the villa this time. So just wanted a bit of fun and obviously to find love as well.
Yeah, no, Jack, you definitely made like a massive impact on this series.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, thank you.
Sher, this is for you. Would you say that the British boys operate differently in comparison to USA boys?
Oh, 1000%. I feel like they mature at a younger age compared to the American boys, and love my American boys, but it's just a big thing over there where, you know, you kind of have time. Like, it's always an excuse. Like, I'm still in my 20s, then I'm still in my 30s, and then they hit 40 and they're like, I can still have fun. I don't have to have kids now. And it's like, all right, the clock is ticking. Let's go.
Whereas you think UK guys sort of are a little bit more mature, quicker.
Yeah, they're definitely more mature, and I think they're lover boys, and that's what I'm looking for.
Now, we've got to get into last night's game. It was full of drama, very dramatic. And we did see it get, quite tough for you guys. Why do you think that was? Why was everyone so opinionated?
I think because our journey wasn't necessarily the smoothest. We kind of were the only couple that's been there for a little bit of a while compared to the newer couples that had some turbulence going on, as opposed to the other couples were already kind of like settling in, closing off. So it was just, we were kind of like easy targets. We were very vocal about our issues, not only with each other, but everyone else. And everyone kind of felt the tension as well. So I saw it coming.
Yeah, I mean, after the last couple of days, it started to seem like everybody had opinions on me and Sher's situation. Everybody wanted to throw their 2 cents in because it was probably the most like turbulent. Maybe obviously we've had a lot of bumps along the way. So yeah, obviously like it wasn't great sitting up there and listening to all that stuff. People have to have their opinions at the end of the day. Yeah, it was definitely tough, to be fair. I'm not going to lie.
Now, Jack, we have to talk about Whitney. Obviously, you two started off as quite an unlikely couple, but then we were all shipping you. Where did it go wrong?
I mean, like, obviously we were coupled up by the public from day one, and I wanted to give it a go. Like, we kind of both said to each other, like, when we were first coupled up, that we're not our types on paper at all. I think Whitney told me on like day 1 or day 2 that I was the last person she wanted to be coupled up with. So there was always a little bit of like weirdness. And then I wanted to give it a go as much as possible. Like, I really put like 100% into it. I just think we're very different people, and I think she maybe expected a little more out of me. Not gonna lie, like, she's a great person. Honestly, we're really good friends, but I feel like she sometimes would deflect kind of like how her emotions were in there when it came to me and her. And then she would also try get involved in other people's stuff. And I was just a little bit like, I'm not sure this is kind of what I'm here for right now. Don't get me wrong, love her to bits. She's a great girl. Ship her and Yemen to bits. I'm happy for them. Hope they go all the way.
Do you think that you called it off too quickly with her?
I don't think so. No, I really think that it was kind of just, it fizzled out for me, from my end anyway. Like I did say, I think it was, we were together for 6 days maybe. I feel like you kind of know after that many amount of days if you think something's going to work. Maybe like if not going to close yourself off or anything like that, but like you can kind of see after that many days in there, which way it's kind of going to go. And I think it just wasn't for me.
Now, Sher, the last few days, Whitney seems to have been getting in your business. Why do you think she's done that? And why do you think that nobody else was calling her out?
I just feel like, again, it has something to do with like her having such a big personality. So I confided in Whitney a lot, and, you know, she's a very opinionated person. So I think she just was kind of getting over the situation of like our turbulence, which kind of doesn't really make sense because it's our situation. But again, we're all living in a house together. So it's normal for all the opinions to kind of just get shouted at you all the time. At the end of the day, Whitney and I are really close, and we would bicker a lot, and then we would just get over it in like 5 minutes. So it was like no hard feelings.
It's like in the dressing room, you were literally sat next to her like, what are you saying? Like,
We were literally
say it to me.
that.
Which was very brave. Very, very brave.
Yeah, when she sat down and you were like, come on, and you sat back down, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
You were both sat.
we both have very big personalities, and we don't like to shut up. So it's only normal for us to kind of fight like sisters. And then again, we act like nothing's wrong in the next like 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Sher and Jack, we see a very different side to your relationship being the viewer, but we seem to hear you guys talk about, you know, this big thing that needs to be addressed and discussed in your relationship. Now, like, what are those things? Because obviously we see a different side to it.
For us, it was more like, because we already knew that we had that deep connection. Like from the moment we started having our conversations, we went pretty deep quickly. We found out about each other, our families, our morals, our values. We're just kind of more serious people. And that's very normal for us because we're both kind of chill for the most part. It was more of that like banter and fun. And I wasn't really realizing that because I enjoyed our conversations so much. Obviously, when it gets pointed out to you so many times, you're like, okay, actually, that's true. Like, why aren't we like having a little more fun with it? Everything's so serious all the time. So, you know, we spoke about it. There was just so many different things getting thrown at us. And then another bombshell coming in, pulling me for chats. It just ended up in like a big mess. But
yeah, I mean, for me personally, like that obviously has come up a good bit. And like we obviously, because we're in there, we're trying to find a connection like on a deeper level. Obviously, banter and fun is quite important. But I feel like me and you, we're both on the same page in terms of like what we were looking for in our connections. And I felt like we had that on a deeper level. And then, like you said, like when the love triangles came in, all that type of jazz, we kind of got away from all that because things just became quite serious. We were talking about our situations more than anything and like updating each other on like how we're feeling still about everything. It just got a lot basically. And I think we really got away from that kind of fun bantery side, which was unfortunate, but like that just sometimes happens in there.
So obviously the last few days, the episodes have been quite sort of drama heavy with like Belle and Lucinda. And obviously, so the only things we've really seen of you guys have been sort of very awkward chats and sort of you like not getting on. So we were a bit like, admittedly, we were like, just come on, both of you.
We were like, come on, guys.
Just be friends.
Is this
say goodbye at the
working?
airport
Tell us the truth.
and go. But we're loving seeing you here together and your body language and everything. So we'd love to know, what is it that makes you two work as a couple?
I think we're honestly very, very similar. And I know it might not come across that way, but that's why we connected initially. And I think especially being outside of the villa, we've noticed that more. Like we have this comfort and this trust in each other. And like we just love to talk about the same things. And like it's just more comfortable outside. So I don't know. I just feel like it's different now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess. I do 100% agree with that it's just more comfortable. We have obviously been getting to know each other for what was almost 2 weeks in there.
I have no idea.
No idea. Don't even know what day it is. But yeah, it's just, everything just feels more relaxed now. I feel like we can just kind of focus on each other rather than worrying about, like I said, love triangles and recouplings and like all the other crazy drama that goes on in there. I think we were both obviously upset to leave the villa, but I think we both kind of felt like it was bittersweet. We were like, lovely, we can kind of focus on ourselves now, take a step back from the craziness and just see what happens.
I mean, Sher, do you regret going into the secret garden with Harrison? And do you think in any way that kind of could have been a reason why you got so many votes in the game last night?
To be honest, no. I don't regret anything. That's just how I am. I feel like you have to do things and it's either a lesson or a blessing. And, you know, I learned that maybe the secret garden does have such a negative connotation, but for me, it really was just a location. And, you know, the boys planned it. I didn't really think anything wrong of it. And then as you see from the episode, literally nothing really happened. So I don't think it would have changed the votes. However, for the game, people had their opinions because of the friction that we were having. So I don't really think the secret garden kind of topped it off. It just added to the fuel.
Jack, obviously in the main villa, you'd had quite an unlucky time. As soon as you got to Villa USA, your luck turned and you were in a love square because not content
Love
with one
square.
lady, you ended up with 3. Do you regret spreading yourself quite thin over there?
I just want to say, God bless America. I
Yeah.
had the best time at the US villa. It was great. No, I mean, like I was going in there with the intentions of getting to know everybody. I knew there was nothing waiting for me back in the main villa. So I was like, I mean, maybe I was moving a little bit too crazy the first day. Maybe my emotions got the better of me. But like, I was just trying to get to know everybody like as much as possible. And then the kisses kind of just happened naturally. But from day one, from the first time I saw Cher, she was the girl that I really wanted to get to know the most. She was my number one option in there. Fancied her the most. Like I felt like from our earliest conversations, we had the best connection. So no, she was my number one option in there from day one. Obviously, I know I kissed all 3 girls the first day. But it's all
He
about
was on his
core connection
holidays.
on the bus.
He was on
Yeah, it was
holidays.
a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kieran and Tommy weren't doing anything, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll pick up the pace."
I'm like, he gets to get to know all 3 girls who are also all 3 of us, and 2 of them are my friends. God forbid I explore another connection. I'm getting killed over here.
I mean, looking back now, I guess you guys are happy. You guys things are working. Do you have any sort of regrets with how you handled things, Jax? I mean, at movie night, you seemed, pretty happy with everything.
Do I have regrets about how I handled everything? Yeah, maybe the whole Amani situation. I get that her emotions kind of like she didn't really like how I handled it, and I did feel bad about that. I didn't really think that she was maybe going to be that annoyed in that time because it was day one, and obviously like it was a lot happening. It's such an like obviously the main villa is an intense experience, but that place is smaller. Like you can kind of everybody hears everything that goes on in there. So yeah, I probably should have handled that a little bit better and maybe respected her feelings more. I know that, and maybe that didn't come across well. But no, in terms of the show, I don't think I have that many regrets, to be fair. I feel like I wore my heart on my sleeve the entire time. Stayed true to myself, tried to be honest with every situation I was in. And I think I was.
Yeah.
And you were her ginger twin. So I think she forgives you.
Yeah. She does. We had her on the podcast. She was very, very nice about
was,
you.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to piss
Yeah.
anyone off.
No, you're good.
No,
You're so good.
She loves you.
Well, you guys, things seem to be working really lovely. We know that, Cher, you're from the USA. Jack, you're from Ireland. How are you guys planning to make this work? And what does the future hold at the moment?
I think part of the reason why, when we were getting to know each other, it kind of just made so much sense to us because he visits the US so often and New York specifically, and it's only 2 hours away from me in Miami. And I can travel up to New York, no issue. And then I also go to Europe every summer. So it feels like it makes sense. It doesn't feel like we're going to be apart too long. So we definitely hope to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done long distance before, but I'm really looking forward to trying it. If this works out, I feel like we definitely are back on track after the last couple of days. Very rocky couple of days. But no, I'm really happy with how things are looking forward to. I've never been to Miami either, so I'm buzzing to get over there. I feel like I've got a good tour guide for when we get there.
You're going to want to move, trust me.
It is great.
Don't know if I can hack the Miami sun that month and
South Africa is quite, it's quite intense, isn't it?
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've loved watching you both, and we wish you all the best of luck with your relationship in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Great chatting to you.
Bye.
Heart racing moments, head turning pre-love fits. eBay with Love Island All Stars just keeps on giving. The villa may be heating up, but the pre-love moments forever iconic. From Leanne stunning in a jaded London at her pre-love date, Millie reviving another jaded classic worn by Gabby during All Stars Season 2, to Curtis making his return bombshell entrance in the very same Dior shirt worn by Season 12's Cash. So for looks to fall for all over again, be sure to check out eBay, sponsors of Love Island All Stars. Oh, that was lovely, wasn't it?
They were so lovely.
They seemed really, really close in that. Like, it was almost like chemistry. I did not expect that.
Yeah. Do you know what? I take back what I said a few nights ago when I said they should wrap it up. They should rewrap it and keep it going. Because it is clearly working. They've got brilliant chemistry.
But let's talk about the rest of last night's episode. First up, Harrison and Carrington. An unlikely pair. Like going up to the terrace, plotting.
Mischievous
like
bunch.
bird's eye view of the villa to work out who they wanted to pull.
Yeah.
And they all went to the secret garden. Do we think it actually means something they all went to the secret garden?
I think the secret garden does mean something. I think it's a bold statement. And if you're going to do it, you know that people are going to have eyes on you. And you only do it if you think it's worth it. So we've seen Carrington for the last couple of days, like already teeing up that he wants to pursue Jessy, but obviously not making that clear to Helena at all. And this was his time to go for it. And I think Harrison as well, like, don't pick Belle if you don't want to be with her. They wanted to make a statement. They knew if they went in there, it was going to cause trouble.
Harrison seems to be like, up to his old tricks again.
Yeah.
Like last summer when he sort of was with Lauren, but then picked Tony in the recoupling.
Yeah.
And Lauren sat there crying, but then went straight back to talking to Lauren again.
Yeah.
It's sort of giving a bit of that.
Yeah, I honestly think that Harrison just wants a partner in crime to be mischievous with. We know that the secret garden is going to give off a big impression. It means that maybe you want to have a deep chat. But I genuinely think Harrison just wanted to have a little bit of a laugh. He wanted people to think they were really up to something. Because when you actually look at the facts, they weren't really talking about anything serious in Secret Garden.
But is that because the girls weren't reciprocating?
Okay, yes, the girls weren't reciprocating, but also you're not really going to have a deep chat with all four of you.
I was going to say it's the place to go for like a really like deep conversation.
Yeah,
like, we've seen all people like sitting up with their legs up, like really intimate and stuff, where nobody else can hear you, and you've got all four of them in there having like a group chat.
Yeah, it's a big fat group chat. I mean, they could have literally had the same conversation they were having right on the decks where they were before, but I think they just wanted a bit of attention, and I think Harrison just wanted to stir some stuff up.
And I mean, and they got it because you had
Tommy and
Kieran doing pull-ups to try and see over the top.
I was impressed that Tommy had the strength.
Yeah, you were like, he must be standing on something. What you didn't see was the human pyramid of the rest of the boys.
I thought he had like a stool or something. I didn't think he had it in him.
And then Belle and Helena decided to enter the group chat.
I personally thought that was just like, it was a little bit embarrassing. You know, I feel like obviously the boys are trying to get a reaction out of you. Don't give it to them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it was that serious. I feel like they just fell for the trap. They went into the play. The boys wanted some attention and they got it.
It was so awkward.
It was so
awkward. It was painfully awkward for everyone in there. And I don't know. I'm actually sort of standing them walking in. I think in a way they've done it because they actually neither of them really give a shit about their couple at the moment.
No.
Like Helena, I think is just sort of done with Carrington. She can tell he's not taking her seriously. Belle and Harrison are just together by default. So I think, you know, we usually see the really fiery side come out of Belle when she actually cares about anything.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take a lot. Whereas when we watch the situation, it was all very lighthearted and it was all a bit, you know.
I mean, do we think it would have been better if Harrison and Carrington just picked the girls that they wanted to speak to? Like they did a bit of a switcheroo to kind of, you know, fool everybody. But would it have been easy if they just actually pulled who they wanted for a chat?
Yeah. It was the most pointless thing I've ever seen. Everyone knew what they were doing. It didn't matter that they were all there.
Yeah.
It was obvious that the reason they were doing it was to try and approach one another's couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would have been better off just having a nice subtle chat, potentially not in the secret garden, just anywhere within the garden. But it didn't make sense.
Yeah. I think Belle and Helena would have respected that a lot more also. Because it's like, just be open and honest with me, you know, if you're going to pull them for a chat.
And also, when it's four of you, it wouldn't look like you were having a romantic chat because obviously it wasn't because there was literally four of them. But if they'd just gotten all sat on the sun deck together, they could have chatted and nobody would have batted an eyelid. They'd have been like, oh, they're just sat there chatting.
And I think also like the way they done it like that, it didn't really give the women the potential to think actually the guys are being serious. I don't know about Harrison, but we both know that Carrington was being serious because he's spoken about it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been much better off just approaching Jessy honestly on his own, whereas the way that they done it just made her feel really awkward
100%.
and it gave her a lot of reasons to just like take a step back and be like, no.
It's interesting. It's just popped into my head because thinking about like the Americans trying to get with Jessy and stuff, the whole Zach thing seems to have died a death. His test that he wanted, he suddenly decided that no, he's been tested enough and that's it.
I think Jessy's given him the ick for the way she's been acting over the last couple of days. Like you could see at the end, he made like some form of a comment about Jessy, like it's just not for him. And I think the way she's come in all guns blazing and been like really, really over opinionated about things that quite frankly don't have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
I think it's given him the ick.
He's like, do you know what? I'll stay where I am. I'll stay at home.
I'll
The
stay
words
at
of
home.
Leanne and Scott.
I'm
good
going
old
home to my mum.
Yeah. They had a party last night. And what is a party without games? Hosted by Maya Jama off of Love Island. I mean, what a booking for your party.
We don't usually have Maya there for the games either.
No,
this,
we
This
don't.
was like a one-off.
Obviously, the aim of the game was there was lots of different questions and you had to vote for the couple that you thought, which always goes down well. There's never any drama in a game like that. So we're going to have a lovely evening, except we didn't. Now, were there any surprises in the game? Obviously, Sher and Jack took a real pasting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say what one of my biggest surprises was. Leanne turning on Lucinda. That was a real like eye-opener for me, and I was so surprised she done that. Like Lucinda's the only person that had Leanne's back, the only person that gave a shit about her throughout this whole experience, and she threw her under the bus tonight.
But to play devil's advocate, do you think Leanne was a bit like, you haven't really come up and said anything to me since? you did use it as an excuse to have a go at Belle.
Also,
Because like Leanne said that night, didn't she? Nobody's actually asked me if I'm okay.
Nobody-
Everyone's so quick to argue. Everyone's so quick to have Lucinda's so quick to have a go at Belle.
Yeah.
Belle's having to go back at Lucinda. Nobody's actually asked me if I'm all right.
But in the chat before Lucinda approached Belle, Leanne was really egging it on, and they were having that really intense conversation on the daybeds when Leanne was just like, yeah, I know, you're so right. And like, I feel like she was egging her on to get involved, and she actually made it very clear to her that she was going to get involved.
Yeah.
So if Leanne didn't want her to, she could have just said that.
I agree. And I think also in the dressing room when Leanne kind of voiced like, oh, none of the girls told her anything, Whitney actually told her.
Yeah.
Like Whitney actually told her, whether Whitney was pissed off or not, Whitney did actually say to her, look, heads up, I'm going to let you know Belle is thinking about pulling Scott. So I don't think it was the kindest thing that Leanne could have done. And I think even if Lucinda was doing it just so she'd get back at Belle, so what? Like, Belle's put her through enough.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Belle's put her through enough. At the end of the day, I feel like she's still defending Leanne. And I think that's what's important in this moment. So
I
know,
feel like
some
her
of the
and
stuff-
Sean could sneak the win now, you
I
know?
wouldn't go that
think they
far.
could. I think they could win. I
Do
really
you know-
do.
They've been
I
on
don't
a
know.
good
The way
journey.
things are going.
They've got a journey for sure. But I'm more like, if they do win, it's defo like because of Lucinda's journey. You know, like what we've seen Lucinda go through.
I think Sean's really held
Yeah.
himself well the last
he's
couple of
held
days.
himself, yeah, for
I think
sure.
he's been a real gentleman in situations
Yeah.
that
And he
a
grounds
lot
her
of
a lot.
men may have lashed out in a very different way. I actually think Sean's a very good communicator.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he's very grounding for Lucinda. And he'll be
I
the
think
one
they
to
work
sort of
well.
pull her to one side and say, you
Yeah.
know, and like Whitney said in the game about Jack, you know, like back your partner in public, and then when you get into private, you can say, I don't like how you dealt with that, etc.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Sean's done. He's always backed Lucinda in public, and then when they've gone on their own, he said, you know, maybe don't poke the bear, don't like wind everyone up, stop laughing. Like he's sort of done that, but not humiliated her in front of everyone by doing
100%.
it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking of Lucinda, she kept mentioning money, and Kieran kept being like, why do you keep mentioning money? Is it a weird thing that she kept doing that?
It wasn't very relevant. Nobody asked her how much money she had. But I guess because she's talking about, you know, she's come from Love Island Games, and that's a different kind of show. It's not really about love. It really is about money and winning the games.
Yeah.
So I guess she's just trying to make a statement to that, you know, I won the game. I've got money. Now I want to be in this game for love.
It was because the question was who's here for clout. And obviously, I personally think that obviously clout and money
They're
are
two different
two different things. So it was quite random that she
But
was
I
like,
guess
I
if
should make
she's-
more money on the outside. Given
Yeah.
that's not what the question was.
But I guess if she's won the show, arguably she has the clout. I mean, she's the winner. You know?
I think she was trying to explain that actually the show is a different format.
Yeah.
It's about people winning games, and you don't win it by being in a good couple. You win it by winning the games.
Yeah, I don't
And
agree
I
with
think
it
it was a bit
personally.
like, yeah.
I think the best part of Love Island is sitting on a beanbag all day. So for me, adding running races in, it's not.
Oh no, I'd much prefer to go head to head than
Oh,
than
no.
have to like be vulnerable on beanbag all day.
Oh no, lay in the day bed, nap in the morning, lunch, nap in the
I
afternoon.
think it's a better icebreaker for love.
I'd take a tug of war over getting my heart ripped out and shoved down my throat any day.
I'm quite lazy. I'd rather sit and cry. Now, as we said, Maya was there.
She was.
She was the hostess with the mostess. And she ended up getting quite involved. She was sort of trying to mediate, as you said. When Lucinda ran off crying, she actually followed her into the villa and gave her a bit of a pep talk. And it shows what a great host she is and how much she actually cares about the Islanders. That she sort of went in and said, you know, you and Sean have got a great connection. You're doing really well. Like, ignore what everyone else is saying.
Yeah.
I think it was a moment in Love Island history, personally. Like, it's very rare that you see the host get involved. And I think it was a testament to maybe where it's got to the point where Lucinda is actually getting really ganged up on. She's probably starting to question herself, starting to question her own morals, how she's coming across. And that little conversation with Maya was that real reassurance that I think she needed. And we don't see it often. So I think it said a lot about the situation that's unfolding.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? Maya was right. You know, she's got Sean, she's strong, she's got this. And it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks about your situation. You know what I mean? They're happy, they're thriving. And, you know, loads of ex-Islanders have come on this pod and actually said how much they're absolutely obsessed with each other.
Yeah. Now, it was the people that got the most votes that went home. So sadly, we lost Sher and Jack.
Yep.
And now we've seen them. We're like, why have we done that? Scott and Leanne and Lucinda and Sean obviously came quite close to going home. Do we think they're quite lucky and this could be a time for them to rethink maybe their strategy?
I mean, every time you end up in the bottom or there's a chance that your time, you know, your time could be up.
Yeah.
it's a testament to go back and focus on your relationship. You know, think about what is important. Scott, think about Leanne, you know, Lucinda, Sean, stay out of the drama and actually remember why you're here, you know, think about the important things.
It was a bit of a popularity thing, wasn't it? It was about who doesn't like who. It wasn't really about couples. And do you know what? I don't actually think they need to bother because from now on, I don't think any of the other Islanders are going to be the people that have the say. I think they might as well just do what they're doing, have a good time and not really worry about it because they got through it unscathed.
And that's the thing, you say it's a popularity contest and that's why when people go, oh, it's not Friendship Island. Yeah, it's not until it is.
It is.
Like, exactly.
It is. What do they call it when you have like an alliance? It's like there's alliance groups within the villa and you know that certain people won't vote for certain people. And that's what we saw tonight, but they made it through it and I don't think they're going to have to face that again. So actually, I think they can just tell everyone to piss off.
Yeah. And at this point, what more is there to argue about?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
I'm sure they'll find something,
I'm sure they will find something. Someone might breathe near Belle and I think it might just all start again.
Yeah. I mean, what do we think this could mean for Helena and Carrington? Because we did see also, they picked up quite a few votes in the game.
I'm not going to lie, I really like Helena and I think she's been the absolute bollocks this series.
Yeah, she has.
She really has. She's been great, but I think they're going to be the next to go. I think the way that Carrington's gone on the last couple of days, he doesn't really care about her. She got the ick for a couple of days. They're the weakest couple now. And I think that'll be next. They're the Walking Dead.
Yeah. The Walking Dead. And that's the thing is Helena may not have met anyone that she's going to go long term with in this series, but what it's done for her character and her journey and sort of public perception of her after last year is amazing.
Yeah, I think she's learned so much about herself as well, you know? So I think it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And that is it for us this morning and this week and the lovely Georgia Harrison. It's been amazing. How have you found this week?
Oh, girls, I've had the best time. I'm gutted it's over, but thank you for making it such a great experience.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're back tomorrow morning with our weekly bonus episode. And this week, we've got exclusive content from Georgia, extended interviews with Curtis, Connor, Imani and Kira, and so much more. So make sure you check it out first thing tomorrow morning. See you soon. Bye.